everybody? Professor Coy here with Sidewinder Jiu Jitsu, coming to you from the Sidewinder Academy here in the great state of Texas. I wanted to get a video out that it's something that I searched for, couldn't find anything on it, so I'm kind of hoping that this would help some of you Jiu Jitsu practitioners, especially some of you folks that may be getting into Jiu Jitsu. First time, you've got a young one or you've got somebody in and you're not 100% sure. If you want to make that big investment on an expensive gi or equipment, there's just not a lot of reviews out there on the item that we're going to be doing a review on today, okay? So what we're looking at today is the Hawk line of gis. Now, I'm wearing one. You can actually see that I've actually bought a couple of these. I'm wearing one. And let me tell you a little something about the Hawk Gis. Being a professor at an academy, as our academy grew, we started to see people coming in with various gis. Now, in our academy, we don't require that anybody wear our specific gear. We do have our own gear, but we don't require that anybody wear it. We pretty much tell them, get whatever you want to get them. Now, we have a large number of families that are in our academy that have 3, 4, 5 people training. And as you can imagine, if you're into the expensive gis, some of the more expensive items and more expensive types, it can get quite costly. So what I've seen is a lot of parents coming up to me going, hey, what about this gi? What about that gi? What about all these different types? The funny thing about that is as you start to watch these people getting these gis, they start to kind of filter into your academy. And there was very little information on these, and I didn't know exactly where they were made. I didn't know exactly who was using them and what academies had them. I did start to see a few of them. So the feature product this week is going to be the Hawk Gis. What's up, everybody? Professor Coy here with Sidewinder Jiu Jitsu, coming to you from the Sidewinder Academy here in the great state of Texas. I wanted to get a video out that it's something that I searched for, couldn't find anything on it, so I'm kind of hoping that this would help some of you Jiu Jitsu practitioners, especially some of you folks that may be getting into Jiu Jitsu. First time, you've got a young one or you've got somebody in and you're not 100% sure. If you want to make that big investment on an expensive gi or equipment, there's just not a lot of reviews out there on the item that we're going to be doing a review on today, okay? So what we're looking at today is the Hawk line of gis. Now, I'm wearing one. You can actually see that I've actually bought a couple of these. I'm wearing one. And let me tell you a little something about the Hawk Gis. Being a professor at an academy, as our academy grew, we started to see people coming in with various gis. Now, in our academy, we don't require that anybody wear our specific gear. We do have our own gear, but we don't require that anybody wear it. We pretty much tell them, get whatever you want to get them. Now, we have a large number of families that are in our academy that have 3, 4, 5 people training. And as you can imagine, if you're into the expensive gis, some of the more expensive items and more expensive types, it can get quite costly. So what I've seen is a lot of parents coming up to me going, hey, what about this gi? What about that gi? What about all these different types? The funny thing about that is as you start to watch these people getting these gis, they start to kind of filter into your academy. And there was very little information on these, and I didn't know exactly where they were made. I didn't know exactly who was using them and what academies had them. I did start to see a few of them. So the feature product this week is going to be the Hawk Gis. Sidewinder Jiu Jitsu, we're getting at our feature product of the week. Going to do a quick review for you, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. Let me get this out real quick. I want to go over some of the finer points of the Hawk Gis. One thing I've seen about all the Hawk Gis is you'll notice right out of the gate that they've got their stitching, their embroidery on there, and it's very simple. The thing that I love about this gi the most is it's not a walking billboard. It's very, very simple setup, and they're obviously very nice. The one thing that I did notice that I like the most about this gi compared to some of the other gis is it's incredibly light. Folks, this thing is light. Now, we're here in Texas. We're going into summertime right now, and in here in our academy, it gets hot. And in Texas, with the humidity getting way up the way it does, coming across a gi that is this thin is just going to be a godsend. Now, the one thing that I'm curious to know about is just exactly how long it's going to hold up over the course of an entire summer, for a year or so. But given the best thing about this product is the price point. Now, most people that brought this gi to me, the reason that it filtered into our academy is because some people found these gis for $39 on Amazon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most people think, look, if it's a $39 gi on Amazon, you're bound to not be able to get the kind of usability out of it that other gis are going to have. Guys, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this thing is going to be an excellent, durable gi. You'll notice this has got the rubber inside the collar. Now, some gis, they're just woven cotton on the inside, and they're a lot more rigid. This has got your standard number of stitches down the collar, and it's got an obvious rubber inner to this. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when I look at these gis and I see this foam rubber collar is going to be the coral gis. That's one of the first gis that I ever noticed that really had that. This reminds me in every way like a coral platinum, I believe, or it's their summer weave gi. It just almost is exact. So I know that these things, most of them are made in Pakistan. So what you get is one company making for a lot of different, one manufacturer making for a lot of different companies. The funny thing about this gi is it is the exact same in every way. The breasted areas right here, it's triple stitched all the way around. There's no double stitching except for right here, and that's pretty common. You got some double stitching right in here. Under the arms, they're heavily done, triple stitched all over. The inners, you can also see, they're overlapped and very well seamed and triple stitched. Everything is very well made on this gi. Your embroidery is not going to come loose. It's got a very well embroidered Hawk Jiu Jitsu logo or emblem right there. Another important aspect of it is going to be down here on your sleeves. They're double cuffed and double stitched. They are not triple stitched on the sleeves. Now, the one area that I will tell you that is kind of the area that I might be a little bit suspect is going to be on this sleeve. When you get into pulling on these sleeves a lot, this is the only thing that I'm kind of curious to see how well they're going to hold up. I'm not 100% sure. Only time will tell on that. Down around the bottom, again, triple stitched all the way around the skirt. It has your standard double insert on the back. Everything about this gi is done pretty much the same way any summer weave or thin, I guess I'd say platinum weave gi is going to be made. It's all pretty much the same way. Now, the one thing that I did notice about this gi is the texture. I think they said it's 250 GSM or grains that is what this is made out of. When you rub your hand down the gi, it's not at all coarse. It's a very smooth. It's even probably a little bit smoother than a pearl weave. So it's a very fine exterior, very fine feel to it. It's not abrasive, heavily abrasive on the hands. So all in all, the top is fantastic. I have absolutely no issues with the gi. I think it will be a very good gi. Now, the one thing that I can say about this is right around the back, where I noticed, especially in the black one. Now, I'm wearing the black A3, I believe is what this is. And guys, I'm right about 5'10½", about 215 pounds. The A3 fits me fantastic. The only thing that I have noticed is when around the backside, when you pull your arms across, you tend to get a little bit of binding up under the armpit right here. It's a little tight up under the armpit. So if you guys are wide-backed, you got a wide back, you may notice it's a little bit tighter here, but it's not so tight to the point where it's uncomfortable. So it's a little tighter than most of the gis that I have just across the back, but other than that, everything fits fantastic. The one thing that I like about any gi, something that I really look for in a gi when I buy one, is just how long is the skirt. How much of the skirt hangs below my belt line. I don't like it where they're way up here, where you barely have any skirt available to go up underneath your belt. I prefer there to be a good long skirt that goes down just past my waistline, and I want it on front and back. And as you can see, the skirt on the back, there's sufficient material here for the skirt to be below the groin line, and on the front. Also, they're not cut too low on the hip. There's enough of a relief in the jacket on the hip that you don't get any binding on your right side up in your hip. So the cut on the gi is fantastic. It's a phenomenally cut gi. I love the way it's cut. I love the way it feels. Now the A3, looking at me, these things are IBJJF certified. They come with a basically a postcard or an advertisement on the top of the gi that says that they're certified for use in IBJJF, which I found that kind of odd because I haven't seen any other gis that I've purchased that actually came with that card in them. Now, I don't know exactly what the situation was behind that, but I have seen a lot of competitors using the Hawk Gis in IBJJF events, and they seem to be doing just fine with them. So the pant, moving forward to the pant, much the same, guys. The pant is also built fantastic. Now it's double stitched everywhere except for down the back where it's seamed together. It's triple stitched down the back. Everything is very well made on the back side. Now this is a Ripstop material, so it's not going to be like your standard, some of your standard pants. This is an obvious Ripstop material, and it's constructed fantastic. The other thing that I did notice here is inside the knees, it's got a double layer inside the knees here, and I believe I'm gonna turn this pant leg inside out a little bit. This is what you're dealing with here. It's not a Ripstop material. It's more of just like a your standard, like a cotton insert. But other than that, I mean, it's still built very well. Now, guys, it looks to me like the idea behind these, the manufacturer had the idea of keeping these light. It looks to me that was what they were trying to do, and they've accomplished that. The other thing that I like here is you've got the full drawstring. It's not the thin or even the flat drawstrings. It's going to have a full braided drawstring in here. Everything is stitched very heavily around the eyelets for the drawstrings. Moving around to the backside, the groin piece, always my biggest problem with a gi is I end up blowing the crotch out of them. I have large legs. My legs tend to rub together. So I end up running into issues around the groin of any gi just about. And the thing that we can see here that I also liked, it's not too baggy. You've got just your standard groin insert, and it's triple stitched all the way around. Now looking at it on me, you don't have a lot of excess hanging down on your gi, which I hate. I can't stand a lot of excess in my gi hanging down around the groin area or low into the thigh. I really can't stand that. It's cut very high, but it's also very loose from front to back, so you get that leg movement, and that's very important in jiu-jitsu. You start doing long steps, getting your legs out wide. There's plenty of material here that you're not going to put a lot of stress on the crotch area of the gi. So I don't know who's making these. I did a lot of research. I couldn't find just any one particular place. There's not a very prominent website to locate these, but here's the thing, guys. These are for, you can find these all day long for $49.99 on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get them for, I believe I bought 4 sets of these and was gonna try them out in my academy. They were gonna be given out to people who may be having issues giving their kids gis, or somebody that may be in a financial bind. We were gonna give these out. I like them so much, they're gonna be they're gonna be in my rotation. So I'm gonna start wearing these. They're so light that training in them is just really it's a breeze. It's very, very nice. It's very light for Texas, and it just makes it so much easier to train than having the big thick gis. Now, direct comparisons, I don't know any. I've got a couple tatamis. I've had just about every gi there is in almost 20 years of jiu-jitsu. These gis don't really match up to any of those. They're so much lighter than any gi I've ever had. I really have no direct comparison to it. Now, I tend to be a gameness type person. I've worn a lot of gameness. Show your roll, I've had all of them. They're all much, much, much heavier. And what I mean by heavier, I mean in overall thickness of the garment, just the overall weight of the garment. They're a lot heavier than these. So having said all that, if you're looking for a replacement gi for something that's just bang for your buck, I highly recommend going with the Hawk. Now I've had these going for about the last 2 weeks now, and I've been wearing one of this, either the gray, the black, the tan. I'm not the tan, the blue. I've got all of them now. I've worn them just about every single class I've been teaching, and they have held up fantastic. Now, wash. The last part about this video will be the washing. We've learned we don't dry our gis. We wash them, hang them out, and let them dry and rotate them through. Did have a little bit of bleeding on the black one the very first time that we washed it. Outside of that, the color stayed very well. The blue bled just a little bit. Again, same thing. We hung it up and let it dry. Did just fine. I saw no shrinkage. Now, we didn't dry them. I saw no shrinkage in the gi. They come pre-shrunk, so everything looked fantastic. They turned out to be very good. Outside of that, guys, if you liked the video today, give it a like, give it a subscribe, share it to everybody else. Let everybody know what we got going on here. We're going to be doing some more reviews on some products here in the future. And again, if you're looking for a nice, cheap gi, bang for your buck, get on Amazon, get the Hawk Gis. Enjoy it. Stay cool, guys. God bless.